Okay, so I'm going to start with a quote that I found. I don't know where it came from, so if anybody knows, you can put it in the comments. Time is limited. We can't have as much as we want, neither stop it nor slow it down. When our mind realizes that it cannot control time, we get scared and time appears to us as a vicious predator. The answers our frightened mind finds are dysfunctional. Run faster, work harder, find a shortcut, do something else. None of these options are effective. And as you may have experienced, these answers generate more frustration, weariness, and a sense of guilt. Procrastination and low productivity are the effect of the anxiety we feel when we don't know how to deal with the fact that we can't control time. So I'm using that to lead in because I'm a person that anxiety is kind of my default state, running around really fast. I have a lot of energy. I have a lot of ideas, very Mercury Gemini. So just know that. Now that's where I'm speaking from when I'm speaking about this experience. So I went down into my makeshift studio. I'm working in a friend's basement right now, and my stuff is kind of in a bit of a disarray, or in a total disarray. So I went down with the idea that I was going to select some particular materials and begin working. And when I got down there, I realized that I was pretty immediately kind of in a frantic state where I was spinning and trying to decide what to work with and what to choose. And what I realized, or what I was actually able to do, is to recognize that I was panicking, I was feeling overwhelmed, and I needed to slow down and just feel what was going on. So I felt the panic going on. I was trying still to curate, what am I going to choose and set out for this session? Basically eradicate all decision making and literally just grab what's at hand and see if it feels good. And so one thing I've noticed is that a delicate calligraphy pen, I have a glass one and some metal nibs, is not the thing to use when I'm running a lot of anxiety and I'm punchy and I'm impatient. I need like a big graphite crayon to just scribble. And, there's always this judgment that goes on, what are you doing? This isn't art. How are you ever going to turn this into a painting? But the point is letting go of that agenda. And there's this illusion, I've heard it said that when you're in this state of mind and when you're in a difficult state of mind and it feels like it's never ending, that's actually a younger state of mind. Children and these younger parts of ourselves have a different sense of time. It kind of feels like when something unpleasant is going on, it's just going to be eternity and it's never going to change. And that's just not the way reality works. If you actually attend to what's going on, the energy that's coming through you, if you actually allow it to be there and to move through you, it shifts, and it shifts a lot faster than if you fight it. So easier said than done, right? But I was able to experience a small breakthrough with this the other day because the voice in my head was like, what are you doing? This is ugly as F. And I just let myself, I was like, you know what? It feels really good right now to just scribble and tear things and splash something there and splash something there, and fine. And it was re-clarified to me that I need to have an actual station to do this in, that there are, for me, two clearly distinct stages of practice, and probably more than that, but I'll just stick with two for now. One is this, channeling some kind of an intense energy, and at least initially, even to settle in, even if it could be a depressed energy, to just have absolutely no stakes and take some stuff out, some materials out, hopefully have them there because you want to make as few decisions as you can, and just start working with them. Just get into it physically. And there'll be those judgments and stuff, but just the whole thing is just letting the energy run. And eventually it will run itself out. And, by the way, I even realized that setting a timer, any of these things that add a decision or a step into the process, it goes out the window. This is just literally just take action, take action, take action. So again, setting up a junk painting table where it's just get that energy out and settle. And then the other phase is kind of the stepping back and the compositional choices. It's I don't know how to describe it, a more discerning state of mind. And that's important, but that's not what we're talking about here. So yeah, just giving myself the space to flail around and panic or be depressed or cry and spit on the substrate until I settle. And so using the practice to settle is really enough, because you can't actually fall in love with what you're doing if you're not first connected with what you're doing. Again, easier said than done, but once you settle and have made peace with the state of mind, the state of life that you're living through, then you're actually available. But I don't want to, it's not about waiting for a particular state. It's about acknowledging the state that you're in and working from that state. So it's very much not about waiting to get to a certain point, waiting to get to a place of calm or willingness. And this is why many artists say you can't wait for the inspiration, you just have to show up. And sometimes the best things happen, a lot of times for me, the best things happen when I'm completely scattered and agitated or upset when I show up, because when I can actually be with that energy then feeds the creative flow and interesting things come out of it. But this is not about publishing. This is not about autobiographically describing a state of mind. It's not about an audience. It's about tapping in to your being as it is right now. It expands time, because when you're actually engaged with what you're doing, when you're actually attending to the energy that's coming through you, there's a certain efficiency in that, because you're not fighting. You're not spending a whole bunch of energy fighting or planning, or you're concentrated. That's that one-pointed mind that all the traditions talk about. So anyway, I welcome your opinions, comments, reflections, everything, blah, blah, blah at the bottom. And yeah, let me know if you resonated.